Me and you two know say host business na this country. The price dey go up every day. Before this time, host price dey not been there up like this. But now the hosting price, some man they even charge the host in dollars, whilst other people they charge in leones, but the equivalents are in dollars. Not so all man and equal for rent host in dollars. So for sake of this, we come out today for let we talk to people, let we know how they feel where the host them all the price they don't go up, and waiting they make up of the host price them where they go up to. Me na host myself.
Me na landlord, people them, those where they left. One day no they talk about dollar, they Leone they talk about. We 2 money pala na 100,000. They'll give up some to the tenant them. Who are in a single room, 40,000, 50,000. We want done 5 days because some man they plan quick. After 5 days, we don't do your parents. We will not miss some money in this country. Dollar. Now the present building now they build. Then they face this problem now. And it was now $2,500. How is it possible to get that kind of money? You know, get family outside for cancer water. This is the problem. Now government for stick for the issues they have. That now you for the talk here, not $2 business.
Why host business difficult in Diana salon? Now wickedness. Because if you know to wickedness, because I know a house where them be 1973 we been born. Up to this time. Then they ask for dollar, they don't even be like $1. Then they another say cement and sansana be next to nothing. But now then they ask for 10 million for a year, 8 million, 12 million. Right now, the city map day because people they don't so gain. They don't get facility outside in the brook, outside them go enclose, do business and business day. But then they ask. You know, say salon man, now people they all like for take chance. But if the government they don't put food, say they are not to dollar country, before don't stop. Because like I know Sidoya, my husband in their house, but not to in dollar. The cheapest house, I not go say na in no more, but it was stay cheap because what you do, I papa left 5 figures, 1%. Even me, so I can tell and say, bo, they then rent your car up small. I say because you see how then they he say no. He said na me daddy them bill and give me. He said I for look for the less privileged man we not able get. Myself I understand because they can myself not be able get. So if some people then they do this, if government if they don't put foot pan this thing, say yeah this sort of dollar, all them see no will be. But I hope say this next government will do now. They put foot pan that.
Housing business in this country is like a problem. I mean an added problem considering the skyrocketed guys where they go up with regards dollar, landlord and they request for dollar instead of the leos when our local currency what they use in this country. You go to places them like the western part of Quito where you go talk about housing, then they say $6,000 for a single woman parlor apartment. How much that person really go rent single woman parlor apartment when are just a single person they go rent down there? How much it will per month? This is one of the causes them where they make people them they become corrupt in the country. Secondly, go to the central part of this country when I feature you talk about rent, say you want a place for rent, a single room and a parlor. It's about $2,500 a single room and a parlor. How much that person will decide for migrate from the western part because you know able to afford that they can't central. How much you will pay when at $2,500? How much in the work and outside in the work for them go able to acquire that kind of money? How much NGO then they we're going to pay you some of money where that man go say all right, well I go manage pay me rentage. How much NGO then they?
We see people in no never get that money. They prefer to go up the higher level. Go grab a bit of property. Or you go to the slum, they big wife, go have pay, what's happening? Where atrocity can take place. There's no trusting at them that they don't fall to. And the circumstances will arise on the own living of their life. No go one day for the and then slow will be. Yeah, a big government.
Most prices where they go up now as a result of materials them where landlord and they use for do the structures and the building them. All don't go up, all don't inflate as a result of this custom and as a result of these taxes where they impose on landlord them. Say a bag of cement, I go ask for cement yesterday because they do the building. A bag of cement costs not less than 70,000 imported cement. Local cement, it costs 55, 60,000. How much man able for afford that day? When something a pensioner, in the time for like a woman in parlor, I join the way go able for take care of a family them, where that pension money then they use for that structure there. How you want to make up that price? So government for look at the custom dues them where they pay, NRA dues them. Then also then they look at the GST taxes and where they come up. Government for look up into that day. And they ask the government solidly, let them check the dollar inflation. Then they also know another problem where they result to housing, in domestic housing and problem.
So we help them buy the cement and waiting a colo. But you know, take 1 grand here for pull all your losses. It's not possible. I make palm body hose, boku. We so they go build na water can go up there hill, landslides they be, different things they be. And all them here because people are not able to pay the kind rent. They meet empty lots. When you go ask for the empty lots, where you list and save in Mona. So me at the biggest, the present government, do ya not help to solve that problem because people in the way they suffer, we catch, we not able to get place. We get because if my husband gets and me gets, it's the picking there. So do ya we talk to the next man. They not take 1 grand here for pulling houses and they so dollar. Yeah, not $2 country.
Well, you hear what them people all don't say concerning both price and country and how they said it affects them one way or the other because all are not equal. But just relax again. We bring the master sabi possible. Where they before housing business and country. Let you hear what possible.
Well, really, after the mudslide events last year, August 14, 2017, we may get some meetings there with some other stakeholders there. But you know, after the meetings there, it may show the Mona where they see the figures them, where they come out, and we know me want let this thing be again, and will not get the same loss of lives. So beyond the meetings, we may also discuss them at we own level with them. So myself go meet the Ministry of then Ministry of Finance, my colleagues there, and tell us what we could do. So that they tell us where they be, because after the meetings, some of can feel so bad that look all the lives we don't lost. Their lives here so can be saved if all we get better planning and good housing. So now this whole thing come out, of course, we get the ODI fellow now, we now Phil Spencer, we now in say, well, okay, then go do this paper so that housing could be captured in the government development plan. Because what they do in a housing corporation, not just small, a minute thing of what's really the one country need in terms of housing. Because we realize now, say, key things that they happen now with housing. We enter now urban sports, urbanization. People are now they come out to the various now upline and the other areas, and they kind of freedom. Because we all believe, say, Freetown get plenty facilities in. So because of that, some man they come. Some man we cannot even get house for tap. Some people in the streets and they sleep. And some man now they go build now other disaster-prone areas them. So it don't put a lot of pressure with the utilities, waste management. You see how the place they get filthy when you walk around the country. Other factors are also responsible now the cost of finance. Because if somebody want to be host, not one man they left property. So if you know they're in that class day, for make yourself later on go own a property, it is almost impossible. Because if you go to a bank, for let you get loan for being host, first of all, you don't forget host back as a collateral. Or if at all, Sometimes you go lend money, sometimes you get for deposit 30% of the total amount wey you go need.
So how this scheme make am simple for people like that?
Well, wetin Ministry of Development dey try for present to we now, we wan solve this situation going forward. We wan forget a strategy. How you go pull people in from that very low income and move them to a better place in society. Because from wetin we hear other people and say, other countries in the way even get bigger population than we. We are just 7 million. Some people in Africa they are 28 million. Other countries, not to mention, they are 65 million. But in the housing people. So going forward, let me get plan. And see God make Ministry of Lands themselves represented here today. And now lands also encapsulates housing. So that means to say in the future, let me get better plans. Let we get a policy now going forward where other than go get land at this country. That means to say if you're not Sierra Leone, you forget land, you forget state land. You get rights forget state land. And if you be at a level where you for able to afford them. Another thing again, it talk very important thing about the demand side and the supply side. Because from all we need the whole don't put together. If one bill say about 500,000 homes for all Sierra Leoneans them, it will cost over $5 billion. In fact, so government no go get that money there because we GDP at the country ain't not able to meet that self. So they don't go just take all the money they say look can be us. So what you don't decide for do, let policies in place so that with you go able from your own small income, you go able for say like 30% every month they put aside. The system for able for do that, a mortgage kind of a system or a policy. So you work in a government. Then for able for put something like 30% of your money, then they put aside in one basket. So if you work for 10 years, 20 years, by the time you left work, you for able for that money there for don't they go on some investment fund. Where by the time you left, you automatic, you just go into your house. Other people will get house now, other countries will then get mortgage system. So man they get mortgage for 30 years. By the time they retire, then the house and property it belong to them. So now that kind. You know, we not just one for say let government be us, send people and go on a new thing. In fact, we don't realize this, so the one where they go to the inside, they come back.
So when this all get for start?
Well, now a plan, this today, it don't kick off because this is not a strategy. Of course, until you, like you say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So this ministry now under the dynamic leadership of Mrs. Nabila Tunis, now don't launch this strategy paper. And you know, go stop here. In fact, from the director of planning, when Dr. Sheka Bangura, then they bring and come into the national government plan. And you know where in a national government plan now, government no go just put aside. Whenever government they sit, even in terms of budgets, then therefore think about it. So I think we're saying a very good.
We and Sierra Leone Housing Corporation don't work in one paper where we talk about housing affordability and housing needs. We won't foretell that if you go buy a house, this how much you get for pay, or this how much you can pay. So today we don't give a number for how much low-income people can pay, middle-income people can pay, and high-income pay. And we don't say this how many people get for getting house from the government or from one investor because them don't get use now.
So the one where you not get money when a low income and almost in for pay.
Well, we don't go say how much them go pay now, but we go say this for one investor. You can think maybe them can pay this much, maybe them can pay this small money per month from them salary from them small pocket for pay. So today we don't get specific use for give them or for sell them, but we did talk about how much money one person can pay for the future investment.
Well, and see yourself don't hear always seeing people and talk about the cost price then at the country. You hear where the people accept they come and then they tell you know, some of the things where they affect the people them, where they affect their lives in one way or the other for say that cost price in the country. Well, you self can just say this big trouble will be in this country where as when I mean during the war time we supposed to be born. Now the cost price they make, but people they go build up their hill. Some they go down and then go to for bill. Some they go settle in the slum area. Some they even go, you be hearing what be happening in Motome. Now they using this. Because most of the one they will be in Motome, they not be fit for the day. Some they will be illegal occupants. They just go grab them and sit down there because of this host price. And all my one live inside freedom. Well, now the reason is make way cause all in trouble again. Over 900 people been die inside last year twin disaster. Boku pan the people them be displaced after whether heavy rain been come where there Boku people. After several months, where the government been try for repatriating people there from the affected community them. This present government indetermined for evacuating survivors there from Usai them be done day and can then go Usai them be done bill for them when at the mile 6 before the rains then go come Boku 1. But we they can't left now, we they can't go and smile for go see. Governments be don't repatriate some people and way begin among them. They don't repatriate some of them. Some of them they now. We they can't go there and see how the housing condition is. Let you go listen what they say for say. All the survivors way they in mile 6, then tell President Julius Maada Bio Boku thank together with in government for where they restore their dignity.
See the place, appreciate for the place. Tell them plenty thank you, tell them do for you. Because they don't can build houses for you, for you can live with your family and all. So what now we are appealing to Papa government, we let them go help we how to take off we save for the future tomorrow. And we get picked out and survive where we see and get injured from now forever injured and get. So we want to let them focus over then. And let them focus on them within a hospital, let them take care of them because they get more pain with the money they are willing to than the other they go fed for supply, going so fed for verify. So
but as I be say, we be understand that the people away have been the real survivor them. They not reach 200?
at all not. No. Because if they go to the community, then go with link with the right people and try know the right people now. If they don't believe, let them go to the hospital. Because almost so they be coaching, so they be connect, so they be emergency, so they be 34.
But how the number don't go up to almost 1,000?
Now the people there in the community,
12,000. You self get place now?
Yes, ma'am.
But how is it the place?
The place is fine. You're not a motor, man.
Where you come?
Juba, we come up. Yes. In Juba, we do. I don't come.
Oh, you know the flooding bring you?
Yes, ma'am.
It be well things there for you?
Yes, me things and well. But I go inside my stay to window out. But I'm very happy for the place the government giving.
About a month ago.
That's now you first come before most of
Yes.
Alright, so who say you been getting you in trouble?
Nah, Josiah Drive. 22 Josiah Drive.
You be how it be happen? Hospin well?
Yes, part of me host me well, but I go inside a well, everything.
But no life no affected.
No.
So you appreciate what the government don't do for you?
Of course.
However, they been get for tell the government say they're not glady small because even though them pull and come out to say them midday them bring and kind of fine place, but the place no look conducive.
It looks so much. It always concerned to the housing people, but then you see them we can't amend that problem. But now we don't the worst because again they can heavily. So me I the appeal to government and the one they were concerned. Do let them help me. And moreover, water back now is a problem for you. And when water would they drink, now they do everything. And some of them not used to well water.
They call it basic light. This solar. They say a basic light. You know, get no side for charge, even phone. And just light no more. It's very strange. Some of us have worked in different places. I don't retire for some years now. I get good taste, you know. So I suffer without the type of light where I go play music, I go light me within a call and charge my phone.
Nothing said this is not extraordinary thing will happen. Well, not a thing where can happen so no more. But if it happen, this is a natural disaster. Then government step in. So you know go accept waiting they force for this while. Say things then come out fine tomorrow.
I don't accept and I make a there. I'm complaining.
Okay, so even in your acceptance, you will still complain.
Yes.
Well, the side where we did so, now of course the 6 miles still. We side them survive what they are there. and then get church where them build for them. Then Obayanda na the mosque for the Muslims and the Christians. Then we get Obaya way na the orphanage for the one them way the mama, papa, all the family members them been lost. Now that's when disaster day. But the pikin survive. So they make home for them. When at the orphanage, when they get for can keep them. But we don't get information, say, as I be tell you, say the people and safe where we survive. Now that's when disaster. They not reach, if they reach 200, they not pass 200. They not reach or they not pass 200. But the one them way don't come surface now for this and forget the supply, forget the host facility and all others where they cry the loudest. They don't pass almost 1,000 now. So you see the attitude of people. Some man they take advantage of situation. Some man they call in family as far as upline now. Can't let you can register for let you get where you don't get the opportunity now. You want make all kind. So any corner now you pass social media, all man they saying you this they send you, this they say this they say this. Government don't it's we couple government don't we know they dispute the fact say people they not misuse the fund. But the one them when are the beneficiaries, let them get waiting and due forget. And the one them you will not say you not been there. You just take due advantage for either it be to say the one way be they verify, nice call you for cam or whatever, but you self forget a conscience of your own. Say you not there, you not there. If God say you go get us, you go get us. Need not there for cam eat side, you not belong. We they try for go inside one but then let we see how they look like, how the inside look. Then we go try for see if any problem they pan then Ostea, we will let you know. Let me go inside. Motomen, are you placing?
Yes. Watch up no more.
Block F2. Okay, they leak,
Yes.
eh?
They leak.
That's if you don't leak before, now they can't
Yes,
inside.
they leak now. Yes, ma'am.
Who's the Motomen can inside?
Now Friday you can have.
A Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what?
You want to see? You want to see?
Pass with the problem. Because the local, they stiff.
Look here back. They leak.
Then I leak the wash.
You want to see the back? How they leak?
And the solar batteries, what you use on this? Fire.
Where you give a light?
Yeah, really do lights.
Yes, ma'am.
But the lights are no problem. All you work confirm. All side you
Put
confirm.
the lights on, let people see the light.
And the lights stand here.
Okay, now the light, now this solar they give now the light.
Yes, ma'am.
So the panel there.
Yeah, the open. So when they give for me, I'm saying go
Yes, you know, man, the woman close. Nothing close to color down there.
Nah, this paint here will be there.
When you pass it, go back. You go the mass, you go the fashion and the food.
Yeah.
Can you open your the toilet?
They walk up and close. Then you can wash one sticky.
So, but this better pass nothing, eh?
Yeah.
Fix everything. Go bring me transfer to the place. I make the active and civil insurance. Everything. Then I don't want to add the insist me.
Because the sister the
Yes.
there.
Now lose them this sound. So not TV. So they fix everything for me.
So security not be there before?
At all not. So I made a TV and now lose them because they see. If they don't see now, man.
Because nobody not go below, so not put them.
Not put them out.
Even the toilet set.
So all TV. Me go there for lose and they go see them go camp. They never go try. They don't need. They don't see.
Where toilets not there now?
I forgot toilet now.
So who's that una king go?
Na bush. Nice bush.
Last point. Now 12,000. So some people they can't man.
So people let be reach 12,000 now that on a community there.
No. No.
Now from update to Canning.
Now from update to go Canning, now you had to verify all on. I figure that the people they verify.
Say go Juba.
Say go Juba now. Say you go long beside and it stop. So now the amount standing. So we go appeal to our government. Let them cross check the right people there. Yes, all my affected this country. What's happening?
Yeah, because it must get linked to family.
Yes, affected victim survival day. Affected it. So some of them are affected. You understand? But then get the survival, when a victim affected survival. Now they begin at hospital. Now then the right people are there for focus. Because now make the chief minister talk and say, he say when I say for pay for the rider in Diana, that money no they will pay for everybody. So the other way they be saying they survive, they get for sick too. And so the chief minister said.
Okay.
So they appeal to them, let them go help you, let them stick to it. So they are the Soviet NGOs then.
Yeah, let government help we. Let government help we. When now they are so not getting nothing for it.
And I will not be good at it.
Anything they come. We not get money now we are. The money we government, the money we not say they give it, say not give it.
Well, you don't hear you all waiting the happen to them people, and you hear where then talk the constraints and where they get. We don't done with 6 Mile. We dey try for go now na new thing when a 4 Mile. We hear about one side where they call Destiny Village. Yeah, na the survivor them. They are this twin disaster will be happening August 14, 2017. Well, we dey try for go now na 4 Mile as I tell you. For go watch at the slum dwellers them. We don't understand say they get 22 hosts them way 22 families way for moving na the Destiny Village where na the Home Leone now they undertake this project and they don't build hosts they want for they know they just build homes but they build communities. They want for make that community they for build people and create job for a member of the family where go they help for they get money and pay for the host small where then they work with federation. We they try for go na 4 Mile now and show you how they self look like. We just don't come out 6 Mile. And the 6 Mile, as you see there and here, waiting people and they say, now the one way, now the survivor them of this twin disaster will be last year, now 2017, August 14, that trouble will be as a result of that twin disaster. Now the side and the way, you know, where government provide for them where they live. Yeah, what would they in a Home Leone, but the village then call them Destiny Village. Where they come inside there for see inside the slum dwellers, the one where they in the slum. Then go to them side them where you know no can find for them what money I reach. The people them where don't come where they don't pull in through federation, one organization where they deal with people where they live in the slums. So now then they work with Home Leone, now them provide for them. We they enter there and show you what's in the happen inside. When are they the kind building them where they see and from the back. They see say now we use local materials and they use everything about the local material, but they're very durable from the look of things. But we got somebody now, when Andrew Conjure, in the communications person for this organization. How you do?
I do fine.
I did try.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about this Home Leone. Why would I call it Home Leone?
Okay. We visionaire when the CEO we call Nigel Hyde, a British. So it don't know this. It came to this country 2003. Wow. So he work around. He come for different projects first, but when he come, he see how the slum activity, how people they live in the slum, and so he begin go down. They listen to them. They talk. They interact. Then they tell them what's not the problem, what's not the problem in the face. So and they come back to the government then and find out what's in the happen. They find out a solution or they not got any plan for pulling people then come on at that place there. So he said, well, if I not do something as an individual, who that go do? Since nobody not doing it, then Home Leone come inside as a charity organization. So that's so we come.
So this Home Leone, you not just there in construction or?
Yes, now in construction we there, but you know, for let you relocate people, you got 6 things and where you go for do.
One,
now the housing itself.
Okay.
Where we don't begin to do so. 2, now education.
Education, yes.
Yes. 3, now health.
Health.
4, now water. 5, electricity. Okay. And the 6 now livelihood.
Okay.
So and we get all that one day in this village. So for relocate the people from the slum in Kaya, if you go for Gonatong, possibly say one go waka. But we inside this village, Destiny Village, we the pilot program for other villages for build right across the country. Okay. We get all the 16 they also in place. And each and every family who they bring Kanayaso, a job is guaranteed per one family.
Explain that. What do you mean?
Good. So like if we let her go for poor people and come on to the slum and bring them Kanaya. Like for instance, you did in one of their apartment there also. Home Leone they give you work. One person inside that family they get work. Either the breadwinner or the wife.
Or any one part of
them will get it. So now out of that one the inside will take, you begin pay for it small. it done. Then
So how the person will get the money where they pay?
So now we they talk now, we they provide job.
Okay.
Now we got brick factory. Then block here we see so we take bill now. So now we say they make them. Now so and we don't train a lot of youth man them as to how to make them block here so. So that is my whole business because for they sell the block to the community, sell the block to people who will be interested for buy and take and build their own houses.
So all the us there with the inside this Destiny village. Now people who go take from the slum community now then get for camp there inside the us there.
Yes.
How can I identify the people then?
Good, that's a very good question. This process don't begin way back from 2014. The investigation process, going to the slum, doing research, interviewing people, doing registrations. So not like we don't build a house and begin call people the way wrong people can come inside.
And they don't start them for long.
Yes, we don't start them for long now. So now so we able to forget the people then. So now make the processing we don't get people then for even occupy all the houses over for being there with the on the waiting list. But soonest as we get the people waiting now we like 22 family heads. Okay. Where then say for move inside the house we don't see so this time block of 8. When 8 family for the inside 8 family under 8 family under.
Are they with 2 people then? And are they with Sampa? Yeah. Jalo. Alright, now 2 different families now come on. Okay, who's particular slum community where you live?
Me como Godrich.
But which part?
Peninsula, Funkia.
Funkia.
Community, yeah.
Okay. How then you be able to be beneficiary for this?
From this? Well, it belongs to our organization, we're in a federation. Okay. This federation, they work with Home Leone. Okay. And myself, I'm a part of federation. So with this opportunity come, they pick some of who they live in the slums. They ask me for field form. Say now this program Home Leone live about for able helping people the way they live from the slum. So myself grab this opportunity.
So now how many in your family?
Well, like my family, I get 6 people in my own family. Me, my wife, me picking them.
Okay. So we don't get place.
Well, there is place on the right already right now. Or even though we not transfer it as you see them 10 days, because we self come, we can participate for building houses away for build we own. Don't do we get for give small thing, but not to better money. 130,000 we they give for months. But then they better than we go sleep and then slum the way they don't sleep when they come they engage waiting here for happen there you.
So that 130,000 they not even get any month.
Yeah, every month they give 130,000 until you pay for the house for the 20 years.
So now you want to go to work or now?
Well, residents every any household, each apartment, then they employ 1 person. If like me when I the daddy of the family and no work, if I get me picking to work, then they employ me picking wise me to go work other side. Okay. So that opportunity then give you.
So Sampa, which community were you in?
We come on the Kokube community.
Kokube. Family you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Wow. So are the same way you say?
Yeah, the same way myself come to federation. The federation themselves they work with Home Leone. Yes. So when they say for friend people then from the slum, so they live with them because they know the right people there will belong at the right place. Yes. So when they get for family, one brother they call Mr. Abel. So they get for
So how life will look like na slum Jalo?
Life be so miserable. We they live the normal because of we know the we all want live freedom, but follow them say we they freedom. But certain way they go they live certain parts and freedom. I prefer even be my shaka self like live there. But because we just want get the name say I live in a freedom.
So life not really good.
It's not easy. It's not good.
Same thing like Mr. Jalo they try for say because they live in the slum. Where you see the car, you think and say, oh, me what target for camp. You get your family, where then they with you, you get small picking. More especially like me, I go say, okay, I go able to resist the cold. But like we picking, like for me, where they tell when they say rain season they come, they take my family, send them upline. Right now then they upline, not where they can family. Right now then they with me in our force. They can family say to the term, we God go make and say for transfer. But at the moment right now, I get my own place so I don't secure now. I don't even don't point inside all thing. Try for the way someone have for time for transfer.
Well, we dey try for go around and show you the house there. You will watch this viewfinder. Let you watch how the structure then look like, and what's the facility then. We dey go around for show you all waiting there. But before they go, We want to talk to the person.
So now, we get my own boss now. When I'm the project director, now in the mandate is very strong man, can call him soldier. You know, it don't come out UK, it don't then at this country for the past 3 years. With the wife, my name is Joe Boxall. So first way can I second thing I be sleep. Could you imagine for just show the passion what they get for pull the compatriot and come on at the slums and bring the camp. So now Joe Boxall and Joe Boxall viewfinders.
Hello there, nice to see you. How's everybody?
Okay. You dey talk Creole?
Small. Only 3 years.
Only 3 years. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
So tell us more about this Home Leone of registering and all of that.
I think it's like something that grows together. You know, on the path, you find out the problems you're going to get, what people want. So the first year and a half was trying to get land and interviewing people in the slums. So before we even built one brick, there was a big investigation to find out what is the real problem and what is a good fit. It's almost like you have to shape the solution to the problem, and that took a long time. And that's why we've only got 32 houses after 4 years, but now we're building and the first families are moving in.
Talking about the durability of these homes, and from the look of things, they are just bricks.
Yeah.
But from the look of from outside,
yeah,
like these ones here,
yeah,
they are so strong. So how long will these ones last?
Well, I've seen this type of block laid from 1996, and they still look absolutely fine.
Where, in Sierra Leone?
Yeah, in Sierra Leone, down on the Barbary Road. But there's a company called Hydroform. They're based in South Africa. They use these in China, Africa, and India. And these blocks are taking off. They're going through the roof because you can use 95% clay soil, which is in the ground, and small cement. So like between 4 and 6% cement. And then that means you get a good strong block and you get the sun and you cure them for about 6 days. Well, no, it's about 14 days to make them solid. So you wet them in the morning and then you cover them in plastic and they become harder over 14 to 21 days.
So what are the facilities added to these homes?
So every house gets its own toilet, and at the moment it's 2 houses share 1 shower. But in the future ones that we're going to build, we're actually going to make sure that everybody gets their own toilet, their own shower. These ones are 2 bedrooms, so you get 2 bedrooms, and you get a kitchen and a parlour, veranda. So parlour, 2 bedrooms, kitchen and veranda, and we've got running water in the houses, which will be metered as well.
What of the electricity?
Electricity, at the moment, we're running off a generator while we build the site because we need power, 1 for our businesses and 2 for the brick factory. But by the time we finish this particular village, we're hoping that NPA will come along the main road. We're about 500 metres away from the main road, so we're hoping to connect them back afterwards.
Taking people from the slums require them to have not only the homes, but they are supposed to have not only electricity as well, water, but they need schools in their communities and some other basic amenities.
Yeah.
Do you have them here?
Yeah, so we're going to have a market, and hopefully you can show on the programme the plan of the whole site. So we have a market, we have a kindergarten, JSS and SSS. We also have a football pitch, and we're hoping that Liverpool, a football club, we'd like to do an AstroTurf football pitch so we can play all year round. And also we have like an amphitheatre for doing arts and drama, public speaking. But one of our biggest pushes on this site will be adult learning. So we're going to have a vocational training centre that seeks to take the people that we get from the slums and that we train them in carpentry, masoning, electrics and plumbing.
In this community?
In this
or
community.
In subsequent communities?
In this community, we're going to train them here, we're going to equip them here, so that even when we're finished building Destiny Village, we've actually built up some of the builders for tomorrow, the builders for Salone for tomorrow.
We then at the school where they don't they bill for the picking them where their family them the picking away them then at the slum here because they be there with their families there as well. We the first set we got for Camden here. But this school here, when it will be available for the picking?
Okay, so this school for done by now because we been get the director of education will be the come briefing for camp. By now for don't train the teacher them already because the thing we got for happen we dey train the teachers them for the kind of system of education where we want now that kind of yes. Even though we go for use the Sierra Leone curriculum, then the Sierra Leone curriculum we have to teach. Then exactly, then from the pre-primary, primary, JSS and SSS. Okay. So because of all that one day, we've been late small for training people because the director be left, he gets another family problem, so he not continue. So we don't get another director from US. Okay. So inside don't take up the charge. So now inside go for camp and continue training. So we go for delays more. We need to open September, but we open December. But what that means? After the people don't come inside their houses, we'll be for don't do the 17th of July. But then like an opening, we want to do the whole village and the family they move in. But we're not going to open and close for the rains because what they happen, the expatriates they all go for travel back for the rains. So if we open on the 17th, then that means we go for close back and then they come back September open. So now they can open the village now in October, around October 3rd. So in December, the schools them would already. Okay. But what did happen? So we the beginning we go for fence schools them around this vicinity. Okay. For them picking and they come temporarily wise and they. So in December, we open the pre-primary. Okay. Now the JSS and the SSS in 2019 we open and they. So but that still means the beginning will be around there to go to the other schools. Then
the JSS and the SSS.
And the SSS.
But the pre and the primary then go for camp
in December.
In December.
Yeah. So they don't go far away from the families. Okay. So as you see this on the blocks and at the background, and the classrooms are so spacious because not to that kind of classroom setting that all months you don't and facing the blackboard will go find it difficult for the teacher for go behind work on eyes. We need a round table kind of sitting by groups. So now make if you go inside the very spacious and it's gonna be wonderful.
So this go for continue in other provinces because like when they begin so inside Freetown, when I go for go na other side and the country.
Yes, that's the plan. That's the reason why we say like when Vice President become a look at this model and say this is good. In fact, we advise after we don't do it here, now put the health system under government and put the school under the government. That means we will benefit from the free education and other facilities. Yes, we plan for this is just a pilot program, Destiny Village. We are going to build more Destiny villages now. Other communities right across the country, not only Freetown. Okay. So who are willing for go back more can go back more. Who are willing for go Makeni can go Makeni. Who are willing for go Kenema and go Kenema.
That depends
if the government. Yes. Now what I mean, we can relocate the people in a slum here and move them. Okay. Move them away if they want to be. If they want to go back.
If they want to go back.
Exactly. With all the social amenities we embedded to the program.
So the same thing we go there, the same thing go there.
Go there other side them. That is if the government come and we work together.
I'm really glad the way see I left. In fact, I left then I can't see there. For my come over camp. Now yeah, I fix. I need to go. Where they give me, if they give me any week me money for transport, I need to go. I get around, I had to eat for the week, 10 months, so they give me money I send for my family. Yes.
Jalo, when you say you eat your?
Of course.
Your money when they pay now. If you say they get for me,
no. I no go say I dey gather them because we don't give me enough for make use of them for transportation go and come. Okay. So they no go expect me to for keep them. That's number one thing and But the most important thing we me glad for, this civil decision not ever happen at this country since we me born. For lots of foreign people in Canada, this country, so they can build houses and for people that are not vulnerable, people that are not able to build house. I get the intention for build house, but I don't get the upper hand for that buy land. So if Home Leone don't have that opportunity there, me just say cry to the government, able focus attention towards Home Leone. In any other organization like the UNDP, in a serious organization, they let them focus attention to Home Leone and help them, so that they go able. Drag with other sister or brother that who left behind there for camp. let this place can develop, forget about the slum. Because slum life is not good. The sick there, even if you go around in terms of the toilet system, just say we go, you have to the point. Because they just say chook stick there, then suspend the leg banda. So you know go call on the toilets. We see the pull inside your belly, then they go left pass with and back, say can't to you back. But see how they live decent life, they wash and showers, you get decent toilets, you get fine place. The environment for Leone, you say we can say I know say. Pops live now, pass we say, so say I no get government like it. But anyway, things say if they are, they are. I they live life now right now pass more than the people in Boku with the free tongue. Because some man no able wash now under showers. So that opportunity they may get and I can wash under showers, our toilets now fine flush.
So, Safa, you said?
Yeah, the same thing like Mr. Jallo they say like. So like when they say until now we don't take view, when I see now the vicinity, when I see the place. So like with the big government, they are and not to even governments no more. If we get people like maybe when we say they're able to build 10, 15 houses them for themselves, let themselves come inside and help Papa government. For let them able to make at least the people them where they live that rubbish life down and let themselves get place now. So they are Papa government with the big now. They are big.
Some na two of the beneficiaries in that way na Chalo and Sanfa where they don't send they advocate for them company where they did as slum communities. They say slum living not good. You know, slum living is not really good. But we go around and see how the place look like. Let me show you the other rest of the facility. If you tomorrow where you dey around here, you watch right down, you dey see say the place, you know, you watch down and see how the place look like. You dey see say the place not only look conducive for the people them, but it's very, very spacious. And the breeze where they meet you now yourself, where it's map na the area they are. Pikin self where they now if they go school, they live in a very, very good environment. We dey go around and show you the rest of the facility and how the people go for live now. Before we go around this facility, people may want to know, especially those that are in dire need of housing. Do you normally, you know, provide homes for people on a cheaper rate, quite apart from those living in the slums?
Home Leone's model is targeted at the moment for the people from the slum communities because that's how the vision started. It started with the problem of...
But do you sell the blocks to people?
Yes, the blocks, if anybody wants to buy any of these beautiful hydroform blocks, we sell them. And any of the money that we make as a profit comes back in to Home Leone. So we're completely non-profit organisation. Any profits from any of our businesses actually go to building houses for the poorest. It's like there used to be an old system called a cooperative system, where all of the wealth of the village used to come in to making a better village. And so that's really a model of what it kind of looks like here. So the business goes to improve the village.
So you are not just into building homes, but building communities as well?
Our motto would be that we're building houses, building people, building Sierra Leone. So, and in the building and the relocating of houses, we get to impact lives. But the main thing that really makes this model work, which we need the government's help and the private sector's help, is to bring business to Destiny Village, bring business to villages like a relocation and say, let us do agricultural business, let us do software business, let us do manufacture business right next to us so that we can create that employment that they need to build.
When we still there na the Destiny Village, the side where you just don't hear what Joe say. Now the toilet area we just so we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms. The one where they for shower for wash and all the rest now toilet where they come sit down and waiting. But you can imagine people where we don't they live na slum communities. Then they come today, they don't identify them, and therefore come and can live na here. We just want to show you the facility where they can enjoy. Of course, the toilet is clean. And we just want to let you know, see, 20. Water dey na somebody wey been dey na slum way no na that dirty water, that gutter water. Then now you don't come. You know say the slum they don't get toilet facility. They just can go left all thing at the water. All man they pull in pipe now towards the water. You hang up. Now inside the beginning they go down, go take their iron. And then scrap metal for sale. So man can even go inside the water, then they pull sand. We, you know, for bailing. So people then go don't use the toilets now and all things they just go inside the water. So how the sick go down? And let government bring almost 2 medicine say na free. They don't go get some sleep when they don't care. The people them now yeah they go for can stay. Right now they say they don't cater for 22 families where they go for can dinner. Is this one is it the same as the others?
Yeah, so this platform, this model is what we're finished on. So it's a compound that's got a nice amount of space for the small children to be inside, and then every block of 8 houses, so every 8 of these, you'll see later.
So this particular block is for 8 families?
It's 8 families, and you get 2 medium-sized bedrooms, you get a kitchen, which you can see on your left, and the houses are done in such a way that you can open the front door and the back door. So when the dries come, when it's very hot, you're able to open your front and your back door together.
So that's the front.
Parlor.
Is it the front parlor?
So this is the parlor. We have fly screens, so to keep the mosquito out. Plastic is up on the ceiling, but we're still to put that up on this particular house.
So this one is...
And then there's 2 bedrooms. And each bedroom, it gets its own window and light is there. So they're a good size. So when you talk about places 1, 2, they're 3 meters by about 4.5 meters. So you can fit a nice family in here.
So there is light as well for the meantime.
Light is
until
here.
after construction.
Yeah.
Maybe by that time the general light may have come.
Yeah, and we'll be putting meters in for electricity and meters in for water, and there'll be a government approved reasonable rate. So we're not going to inflate the price of water up high. It's going to be something that's manageable for them and manageable for us.
Okay, let's go outside and look. We let's try for gonna do and watch at other areas. We don't see here now for 8 family, different families 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 8. So we get spacious place where the pikin will play around, playground day, side away. You know, say we in a country, we pikin we must go and get neighbor and so pikin will play around. Then they get other side when for recreational activities. Will try for go out? Okay, these blocks do lock themselves together.
Yeah, so you have male and female end to end, and male and female top and bottom. And you see, once they're laid together, you cannot move them. And these wide ones, you can actually build 2-story. So the strength of them means that if you go up 1 story, you put small beam around, then you can go ahead and do another story.
So you can build these ones with 2-story buildings.
2-story buildings
without using iron rods.
Without using iron rod, you just put a ring beam, yeah. And you can put corners on to shore it up if you want. You can just do the corners of the building in like a beam on the corners. But they build with them with a 1-story beam and then a 2nd-story straight.
So how many bricks can build a 3-bedroom and a
So we're working on 8 houses. So it's approximately 35,000 blocks for 8 houses. So you'll have to do the maths, but if you divide 35,000 by 8, that gives you how many blocks that you need to have. So it's quite a lot of blocks, but the other thing about them is these, because they haven't got sand in them, they're cooler. Sand heats up and retains its heat. This, because it's earth, it stays cooler. It doesn't heat up. You know, like when you walk on the beach and
So
the sun
this,
is there.
so the place, these homes are cooler,
They're
especially in during the dries.
In the dries, these are definitely, I would go as far to say that these houses are maybe 40% cooler than a block-built house, which when you're in March, it means something.
Well, 52 homes, but some good Soya people may build 52 homes for some people and when they are new team. Some of their homes today, we don't begin to allocate them. But where they may build, or some areas in there, they don't may do drainage. So we find out, say, we're not able to give out all the homes because some, when the heavy rains don't begin to come, some of the dirty they don't begin to wash, even some of the septic tank there. I don't know why let people and go there and then go get an epidemic. So the homes decide away, okay, we don't give out about 30 of the homes then. We still work with the relevant ministry then because in fact over 3,000 people are really affected, the victims there, and are 52 homes. But with all of this program, let's all go for house more people.
Salon people tire, especially with the way people they live na slum communities. One na the Kube community. Most times governments they can come in, you know, they mitigate and do certain things, relocate them and give them small for but then they go. So when I want to say they get power past the government.
But frankly speaking, if you carry people from Freetown, take them on a side way, they know they forget the hand too much, it's difficult. What we say they do, we don't talk to the Ministry of Health, to the CMO, that we can get a clinic there. We need a school. I believe say you self just come put in a Freetown and say come in a meeting. First of all, it's transportation for the camp every day. So we have to create livelihoods. And part of this meeting today, we get other partners them like the Home Leone. Home Leone don't do some about 108 homes. Their own policy really, their own strategy now for just relocate slum dwellers. And then they do and they get a printing press, then they get other livelihoods there for people. Because the main people will keep them now the livelihoods. But you know, Sierra the commissioner will do all. Now I could work with other partners. And of course this now they are the eye of government.
You know, before they left, you know things say that method for Leona they award contracts to people. Look like what you say, substandard building now, what I don't begin. If the building be look fermented, good, I don't think say water for boil easily. So you don't think say una for come up with other initiative like this, plastic waste, so that the environment will be clean. Because me and you two know say, if then they sell plastic, but Cooper we not go to even at it. We go to find way for keep them. For go sell to the one the way they use that for make then fine house for people where go be less, you know, expensive and all that. It will be affordable for every the poor man.
Well, and that's not be the essence of this meeting. This meeting don't mean like minds them. Like this company don't talk about plastic. We self-National Housing Corporation, we they do what they call now, we they use affordable building materials. We they build with brick. This red dot you see. In fact, the red dot what we use for build our house and new thing. After all the water and after all the breeze, the house still team up. That should say it proven say what we use with local building materials. It's durable.
Some man go say the red dotty hat for fair, not all air get red dotty, but all air gets plastic.
Well, red dotty self day. In fact, when you dey build you also you dey dig the foundation, that dotty they self when you use, you can use that. Red dotty they all over this country. If I would do some research, some dotty they within a part like bowl, there's a it's so beautiful, the color so nice. If I want to just get dotty, you can even use clay. Various materials you can use. But you know something they will just say, hey, this is not dirty block. But that dirty block, the 9 other content they use. It just depends on how you mix them with the cement for getting required, the quality.
Well, as I tell you, you don't see, of course, you were the working program here, you were seeing different people and say, but housing business at the country, even the agents them where we could normally look for, where they go around to friend for we will then set to want, you know, their own commission at the end of the day. Here where we will bring you come, of course, you don't see the one way the government made for the Ebola and sorry, yes, for the mudslide survivors, where then between disaster will be happen and country, the survivor them, the sweating, how your place they look like na 6 mile, and same way so you wait till the people and talk na tongue said, the different people but how the Australian business and people and want they charge their host now in dollars. So the equivalent of the dollar now most host owner then they make charge now for the hosting. So you will not get 12, 15, 16 million You know they able to live na fine. If you get below that, well, go the member say they go for the lesser one. So like this opportunity don't come now for them one way they live in the slums. Them I say the people themselves who live in the slums, they're a part of salon, people them, and they get guides for get basic social amenities. So like this opportunity we come for they look like for say, then say they put hand for make sure say let them get a better livelihood. Now this particular community, any community where they find themselves, so that if this wire continue, you will the program will be help to them wire. If this continue, no slum no go there again now this country. The slums then will be empty and they will get a better way of living. As I tell you, they provide jobs, we watch them back, they say job creation day for the families them we get for dinner and you know their livelihood go definitely get a turnaround. Boku, thank you for your time. You will take time for watch this program. And let's thank you to the producer, Wayne and George Louis. You will present the program. My name is Rose Konima Stevens. I will see and talk to you in another edition. Let's thank you for your time. Bye bye.